Blizzard, let's chat! What's up guys, Crowan here, bringing you another episode of Blizzard Let's Chat, where we do PvP discussion, and I take questions from you guys and answer them. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a tweet that Ghostcrawler did, and it basically says this. We buffed Healing Rain, Chain Heal, and Earth Living by 20%. It's live in NA and China, rest of the world in the next day or two. Now, I wouldn't mind this change that they've decided to hotfix in if Restoration Shamans were shit in PvP. But they are the best healer by a very, very wide margin. Like, seriously, like, Restoration Shamans, top dog, everyone else, pile of shit compared to them. There is certain comps that are, like, balanced against them when they're playing other comps, but, like, in general, Restoration Shamans are the best choice for nearly every single setup in Arena. And in RBGs, like, actually, to be honest, RBGs aren't balanced, so I don't even care. But they're also, you know, doing pretty damn well in them too. Now, if you just want to look at it like this, there is a set bonus in PvE that they could have buffed to just basically make them fair. Like, you could just buff PvE related things and we wouldn't mind Ghost. Why didn't you say, we're going to buff the way the intellect scales so that it buffs them in PvE and then we, you know, no one cares. Like, no, because then it's like, oh, we gave you a 20% buff, but it basically means that nothing happens to PvP, so PvPers aren't gonna mind, and that's it, end of story. And then, like, everyone would have been like, yeah, thanks, that's actually a good change, because nobody cares, because it didn't wreck PvP. But Restoration Shams are already overpowered, and they just did it anyway. Like, why is these sort of changes going through? I'm assuming because they don't actually give a fuck. And that's kind of annoying. Like, there is a new guy, and he seems to know what he's going on about, who's the PvP development head lead guy, right? And you tweet him and he'll tweet you back. Like, he actually tweets back, and he doesn't just shun your question or whatever, and he doesn't throw it down the toilet. He actually answers it, and everything he says I agree with. So far, roughly, I haven't sat there and read every tweet he's done, obviously, but I'm just saying in general what he says tends to be correct, or from what my opinions are. So why isn't he stepping in? I want to see him get some balls and tell Greg Street to shut the fuck up. We ain't doing this buff. You can fix PvE separately from PvP. You're going to buff the set bonus. We're going to change the set bonus. We're going to do whatever the fuck it is that isn't going to affect PvP. And whether that's something like, we're going to buff the amount of damn healing that the totem does when it does over 10 targets or something, so that it buffs 25 mans specifically, or, you know, when it does healing for more than 5 targets, it buffs the healing, right? So it affects RBGs, but RBGs aren't balanced, right? Arena is the only thing that's actually meant to be balanced, and they actively balance for PvP. So it wouldn't affect, you know, PvP would be still in a good spot, because it wouldn't be affected, because it's more than, you know, 3 is where the golden rule is, and so more than that, it doesn't matter. And there you go, you would be sat in a good place, no one would care, no one would moan. And then we could just be like, thank you, you actually did a good change and it didn't affect PvP, and you probably could nerf PvP, just say like, it scales up with the number of targets it's hitting. And so like, you know, they get a nerf in PvP and then they might be on par with everyone else. And God, would that be a good day. But that's not the case, and I just don't agree with the changes they did. And I'm probably never going to with this sort of logic. It's like, we're just going to change it for PvE, and who cares about PvP? I think maybe even if they was to do it so it's like, every single patch that comes through, it was like, the even numbers, I think it is, would be like a PvE patch, and it would just be like, we're going to make everything good for PvE, and then when the PvP comes around, it's like, we're just going to nerf the shit into all the PvE stuff that's wrecking PvP right now, and to the end of the season, which is where, like, things count, because that's where rank 1 titles are earned and everything like that, we're going to change it for them, because it's all at the beginning, the PvE, but at the end, it's the PvP. So, you know, maybe that's a way to do it, I don't know. But it feels like that's what it's like, that's their ideas right now. And that's not great either, because they could just balance both at the same time by affecting this set bonuses and stuff like that to be the main way of, like, them calculating the damage. Like, they're doing shit here, but this is their set bonus is making them do good in PvE still, as same as it is in PvP, because the PvP set bonus is doing good. And then it'll all be fine. And we're on to today's question, and today's question comes in from a lovely person. And you're going to have to, like, I'm just going to say sorry straight away, because I can't actually say your surname without reconsidering what I'm saying. So, his name's John Shuley, or Schooly, because it's like school and EY. You'll see it on the screen, so, you know, John Shuley. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I can't really I don't know how to say it unless somebody else told me how to say it and then I could pronounce it like that, but this is just my guess. So that's my guess. Sorry if it's wrong. And his question is, in its infant state and future projections, how high is the skill cap for monks? Could there be a rank 1 in the next couple of seasons? Well, I tell you, John Shuley, there's already been one rank 1, Windwalker Monk, and there's been a few Mistweavers, but I think, anyway, I'm not actually 100% sure on the Mistweavers, but I know there's been a Windwalker that's rank 1. He played Windwalker, Hunter, Holy Paladin, and that comp actually works really well in a lot of situations with the current comps that was out in 5.1, like, so, KFC and stuff like that. Mostly just by how you play and the playstyle you have to play at that time would counter most things, and it works pretty well. Like, you're basically CCing one guy kind of constantly, but the person you're CCing all the time is rotating, and then you're doing a ton of damage to the healer a lot, and it basically, so you've always got one person that's out of like the situation, and then you switch to the DPS as well, so you sort of rotate a lot, but you CC the other guy, and it works pretty well. I don't know, Bali, you got rank 1, so, but they was all really, really good players before they switched to playing this comp, and obviously the guy who played Windwalker before got rank 1 before and stuff like that, so you have to consider it's like, and they was also on a BG that's really shit, so if it was on the most competitive BG, so EU would be playing on the same one as Stormscale. I can't actually remember the name of it, but basically if he was playing on the high end, they would never have got it. They'd be like 2.2k. So this is like, it's all within circumstances, but rank 1 is possible. It's just you have to play in the best place for you and everything else. Skill cap is a weird one for monks because they basically, when they first come out with monks, it was like, look, we want to make them high skill cap. They need to have like, that's the classes that get loved the most. The ones that have a high skills cap. So like mages, priests, rogues, RMP, like they sit really well, and that's why people like to play them. So we want to make another one that sits in that section. And we don't want to make another DK where, to begin with, and still kind of now, was more like just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, the guy's dead, switch to the next target. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They didn't want to make him overpowered, like, but DKs have never been like too complicated, and then they've added in the complication that's been like awkward for them. So they tried to do it the other way around. It's also not worked in a way, and I'll explain that in a second. Basically, they gave a spear hand strike and it had a silence, so but you had to use it from in front, and that was kind of like, it's kind of hard to get off, and people are like, oh, no it's not. It's like, well, normally you'd use another CC to be able to get off your silence, but you would use it, so you'd use it and then wait right to the last second and then use your silence. And, that was okay, it worked, but like, the same with paralysis, you had like positional requirements for our CCs to be better. And that worked really, really well, and then what they did was like, well, we're just gonna, it's 4 seconds, and then we're going to add 2 seconds on it. So, before, where you'd have, it would be an increase in 4 seconds on paralysis, you would actually, the 4 seconds is like, alright, I can go behind them and then use it. Now that it's only 4 seconds or 6 seconds, it's like, there's no point in me chasing you to get the extra 2 seconds. I may as well just use it and hope that you land on the 6 seconds. If you don't, I'm still doing damage, because you can't dispel it or anything anyway now. But like, there's no point in chasing for those extra 2 seconds, because you could be chasing for like 5-10 seconds before you get it, and it's not gonna change. Like, you're gonna get back, and it's gonna take you those 2 seconds that you just spent doing stuff to get back, where you could have been doing those 2 seconds in damage. And it's a bit awkward in a way, and it's better just to not bother. And, a lot of the time you'll aim to use it on the end of a fear where they'll run away from everyone, and then the fear running away from everyone means you can catch them, like, pretty easily there, and that tends to be what I end up doing at the moment. And, that works really well. The same with Spear Hand Strike. They just nerfed it, and now it's, like, not beneficial if you play with anyone who has a silence. I'm playing with Rogue right now, so you can't actually Spear Hand Strike on the end of anything. You kind of want to avoid it unless you're really close to getting a kill, because, I'm gonna make his garrote crap. It's not gonna silence for as long, and so they need to put it back. Really, I'd rather them put the 4-second silence and increase the cooldown on it, so your interrupts like longer cooldown, so even like basically whatever mages is sounds good to me. 24 seconds I think, so there's 4 seconds silence and 24 seconds duration or whatever. That sounds good to me, but they're not going to do that. That would be the better way to fix them, and I don't see why they would remove it, because we relied on that to counter any casting stuff. So, like, everyone's running, like, people are saying all this crap about, like, this, oh, there's too many silences and CCs in the game, right? But as far as I can see, silences are needed right now because everyone's running on instant cast. Healers, instant cast everything. You know, just casters, like mages, warlocks. Just, like, warlocks can cast every move while they're moving, so they can just walk away from you as they smash you. And I wouldn't mind that, but I can't smash them when I get to them. Like, you know, I'm gonna get hit for a Chaos Bolt. If I can't silence the guy, you know, I have to get them from behind to kick them, which is just stupid now. But, like, before I could just silence them for 4 seconds, and it's like, they shouldn't have been casting kind of thing, and I could just nuke them down. And it's not the case. It's just silly. Like, you need... Every class, in a way, needs a silence to be able to counter casters, or, like, they need multiple stuns, and I don't see why they haven't put that in. I also, you know, find it infuriating in a way. It's just like, we're going to remove it from you, but we're going to let mages keep it, and mages are the most overpowered class in the game right now. So I don't understand Blizzard's logic with that. But there is a lot of other skill cap. I believe that any healing class, it just has innate amounts of skill cap. Like, as a baseline, anything, like, if you just look at it, like, let's just take Vanguards for an example. He takes melee classes that have a heal, like, thing in it, so, like, Ret Paladin, Enhancement Shaman. He might end up playing a Monk one day, but, you know, he takes those classes, and they're, like, always crap. Like, when he first played Ret, they wasn't actually any good, and then they was good the next season after that, and then they was shit again. But he, like, got rank 1 in every one of those. And then the same with Enhancement Shaman, like, he is probably the only Enhancement Shaman that actually has rank 1, because he just plays really well, and he does it by healing. Like, most people don't heal enough. He'll just play defensive and heal up until he has full health again, and then he'll go back out and fight again, and he gets his team to join him on that, and it basically allows him to keep going, and he just makes himself rank 1 by doing it. So any class that's like that, so Windwalker Monk, if you learn to know when to play offensive and play defensive at certain times, you'll win more games, and you have the choice of doing that. Some classes don't, like, you know, warriors can't heal themselves, really. You know, they get passive healing and they might have a heal button, but they can't actively heal and just have a thing that they can use to heal. And so we always have that option. So there's always that as a platform for us to do, get higher rankings and stuff like that. And I could just see it always being really good for that. We also have stuff like Zen Meditation to get traps and catch CCs and stuff like that. There's a lot of skill cap in us. There's just, I'd say as well, it comes down to other things. Like, there's stuff that you can know, but, like, makes you a better player. But I wouldn't say it's, like, skill cap 100%. Like, when to roll and how to roll. And that is one of those things. It's like, that is a big skill cap for us. But, against other players and whatever, it's like, it gives you a little bit of an edge, but not the biggest one in the world. And, I don't know, I think that's always, like, a balance. It's just something to look at, I guess. Like, overall, we're gonna get there, though. Like, they keep changing us, and that's probably, like, enough to say that right now you have to be skilled to play Monk, because next patch is gonna be something different. And you know it. It's just like, everyone that's playing Monk right now is like, next patch, there'll be a new move that I gotta learn how to use and when to use it. Like, Ring of Peace, you know, I have to learn how to use it. When am I gonna use that? I don't even have a clue. That's what you was thinking, and that's what everyone's gonna be thinking in patch 5.3, because I can guarantee they gotta change some stuff. Because we need a lot of things taken out and changed. Like, they're gonna have to put in new glyphs for us. Really, they should make Tiger's Lust baseline. You know, they need to remove Rushing Jade Wind because it's a bag of shit and it's like a normal spell. It's not actually a talent spell. You know, we've got Chi Torpedo, which, like, really should be in the tier 1 section. You know, there's loads of little things about monks that they're gonna change a lot. And so we just gotta wait and find out what the changes is and then hope that they turn out well. But either way, I think that we are stupidly high skill cap. I wouldn't say right now, if you was to compare, I'd say we're probably just below rogues. So you got like mages and rogues and priests and stuff at the top. And then you probably got us, probably just behind warlocks or a similar place to warlocks. And then you've got, below that, you've got everyone else or whatever. But, so, you know, so we sit quite high on it and we'll probably get more and more skill cap as time goes on. But, so always just a wait and time to see. And so this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like the video, and don't forget to send me your questions for the end of the section of the video to crowhoodmail@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment below, or you can send me a personal message on YouTube, or you can send a tweet to me at Nightleaf, and I will, if there's a good question, I'll put it in the video, and you will see your name appear in lovely shiny letters on the screen, and you know, feel the gratification that you actually, you know, your name's there and you actually asked a good question, because I get quite a few questions that aren't really, just aren't really good, let's just say that, you know. But those questions are still fine. Like, you know, maybe one day I'll go back and just like be like, here's all the questions that were really stupid, and then just like show you them all and I'll answer them all. It's just little silly things. And hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again on the next Blizzard Let's Chat. Goodbye! Goodbye! Goodbye!